I wanted to make a sequence on for the menstrual cycle. And so there's a few poses that are amazing go-through poses. I have had the most painful menstrual cycles, and after doing this sequence for an amount of time, it transformed my experience in having pain during menstruation or before, and having almost zero pain after about 6 months of doing this for that week of your period. So hopefully it helps you too. So first, what we'll do, this first video, we'll just talk about folding forward, and then on the other ones I can show a sequence that really works for me. Okay, so first thing about forward folds, let's call them forward folds instead of forward bend, because when you think of a bend, you know, you're bending. So you want to think of it as a fold, like it's coming, you're folding forward. Okay, so we'll go through a few important aspects of folding forward. So number one, you want to have very active legs, meaning if you could make a fist with your legs, you would do that. So spread the toes open, apart, and make the legs very firm, as firm as you can, and very, very straight. So if when you sit here, it's already kind of challenging and it just feels like, you know, you have to round your back to sit like this or support yourself. It's totally normal. It's probably, you need a little bit more length in your hamstring. So it's a great place to start noticing that just sitting down like that is uncomfortable. So what I recommend is grab a blanket, or you can stack 2 blankets in there, or even a thin block, and sit down in the block. If you're sitting very high up, you might need to support your knees, but if it's just a blanket or 2, it's okay. And then you can just gently move the skin of your buttocks back so that you're not rounding your back to start out with. So if you need more height, you can add a little bit more height. I'll show you. And you can add a little bit more height, like this. And now I can sit without rounding my lower back or my back. So I spread the toes open, keep my legs very straight, and I start folding forward. So inhale, I lift my chest. Try not to bring the floating ribs forward. Just keep them back, lift the chest, and come forward, and lift the chest, and come. And so if this is enough, if you're starting here to round your back, don't do that. Just stay here for a few months, and eventually you will get there. So grab a chair or a piece of furniture and support your back. So work on the legs first. So that's gonna get you to where you wanna go without injuring your back. So lift the chest and stay here. And then slowly, you can also work with a belt, you know, and a chair. And here, and put, so when you're using a block for your head, you want to make sure that you're not moving the skin of the head up, so you're moving the skin down, right? So what I mean is, if you have a block, you don't want to go like this so that it scrunches your skin towards the top of your head. You want to do the opposite, down. So you put your head on a block and lift the chest and use your belt to keep the legs active. And of course, then you're teaching yourself to make sure the eyes, the ears, and the throat are relaxed and not tensed. So stay in the pose for 30 seconds, and every time you do it, you can increase a few more seconds until you can hold it for about, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. 5 minutes is a good amount of time in the beginning. And you can bring it. Eventually, when you don't need the block anymore, you can remove the block. And support the head. Right, so this is how you would work towards having a forward fold that is gonna help you with your menstrual cycle. I mean, if you really just rounding the back, it might not give you the desired effect. Okay, and then if I can fold, now and stay here and breathe. All right, if this is 100% inaccessible, a great place to start, so the step before sitting down and coming forward, or a supplemental exercise you can do that would help, is you come here, find a door, and come here, make sure that your sit bones are touching the wall, and you stretch one leg out, and you slowly get to where you can straighten this leg. All right. Okay, and that will stretch your hamstrings to the point where it's comfortable to sit down and do forward folds a lot better. And then you would do each leg here. All right, hope that helps. See you in the next video.